program tonight, and I know we have some announcements. Is Penny here? But they sent around with the Friends of Native Art a potluck that they're having for their holiday potluck. So, anybody here with FONA? Yeah. So, is it at your house?
We've already have that.
But this is something we can pass around. Did you want to say anything about it, or you?
Well, it's a lot of fun and beautiful location in Gallo Point, and I think a good time is had by all.
Right. So
this is our second year that will.
Are you John?
No. James.
Okay. The person that's
John Locher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As his his email here, so we certainly trade programs. So why don't you take a look at that and pass it around?
Okay.
Okay. And any other announcements coming up? I just want to announce, I just got this in the mail. The Bill Holmes Center is celebrating its 10th anniversary, and they're having a big exhibit at the Burt Museum. And we're very fortunate to have Marty and Bill here with their cousin and her husband. And so, anyway, I'll pass that around. It's starting in about a week, the exhibit on the 95 grants that have been given out by Robin Wright and others that are directing the Bill Holmes Center. And it's the 50th anniversary of his book, Northwest Coast Art, and so I brought mine for him to sign. I just got this because I couldn't tell you. And this book wasn't very old when I took his class. So it must have been 47 years ago, but I took his class the first year he taught. This book was only 3 years old, man, right off the press. And it was dynamite, and still dynamite. And they have a new edition coming out, the 50th, that is a limited edition. There's 200 hardback, and you sign them, and so forth, right? You don't know yet? But you will. But now let me pass that around, and there's a news bulletin here about Sev Hawkinson, who's one of the curators at the Burke. We've had him speak here as well as we've had Bill speak here long ago. So take a look at this, and of course their 95 grants really helped a lot of programs, artists, up-and-coming artists, lots of publications and other things. And so I brought my contribution to the Bill Holmes Center right here for the Ernie Gunther Endowment. And Ernie was both Bill and my teachers, professors. Ernie used to come to Hoko when we were doing the dig in the field and give lectures. And she was a basket expert, so she really helped me with my dissertation. So if you have to give it to you, Bill, the stamp, just put it in the mail.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming. Very interesting talk. As shown here, we've had a chance to have dinner with Scott Grimm and Scott Williams, who's one of our board members, will also have a few things to say and introduce them, but a few things about the archaeology and what they had to go through, which even tonight at dinner they're talking about the permit and other things that they had to deal with. Stephanie, it sounds like. We had quite a fall workshop in Adelaide, and some of you are here that were, who's here that was in the workshop? Right? Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, let me see if I can do this. Sarah, I'm going into our website, I think.
All right.
Or your mom's website. I hit that. There it is. And we'll just scan through this just to show you the pictures there.
You'll have to get out of the full screen.
Our Vice President, Kathleen Haas, took probably just.
Dale.
Here we go. I don't want to do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dale, you have to exit out of the slideshow.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Just get me freaked out.
Keith's gonna do it. We'll get it.
Is that a Paleolithic jack-o'-lantern?
I just want to give them a taste of it. They're perfect, that's what I want to do. So you can see us working on this, and we're using a lot of equipment, mechanical equipment to make it, but we used U-wood staves and antler hooks. We used red ochre, kind of smooth things. But we actually have some people here, so you want to say something, Nick, about what you learned?
Thank you for putting me on the spot.
I told you. I'm just going to go. We had 16 students, so we were packed. We had to, go ahead.
Well, it was an interesting time learning about exactly what a North American spear thrower is and what it does, and how to make one. Thankfully, we did use modern day tools. Otherwise, it probably would have taken us
For 16
for a couple of weeks.
How many catalogs it would have taken? But Jason, you want to add anything? And who's the other person there? You were here.
Susan was there too.
His name again?
Steve.
Steve? Yeah, and Steve knows Bill, I think, right?
I think I do, yes.
So, Steve, also, and Jason, you may want to say something. Then we got to go right back.
I know.
Steve, you want to say anything? Did it work out for you?
Yeah, I've been showing that out aloft everywhere. My 4-year-old granddaughter was very impressed, and so was the 4-year-old boy that lives behind me. So.
You didn't hit him, did you?
No, but I kind of discouraged him from taking an attempt at launching it because I told him the story about the Aztecs and the Spanish horses.
And we're going to do another workshop. We're planning with Jan Smith and Kay on basketry, native, natural basket. Yeah.
Why is it not? There we go. Maybe if I can move over.
So,
Okay.
so you can get so you can see what the ideal is, what we do, but we were all on grinders and everything else. But we came out with some really nice alloys. The next talk, we do have it established for March 28th. Francis Charles, who's chair of the Lower Outlaw, Francis here with Governor Gregoire, as they're removing the dams. Well, as they did that, they found lots of archaeological sites behind those 2 dams. And she's going to come with their archaeologist, Bill White, and they're finding materials that go back to the Olcott time period. If you saw Jim Chatter speak about his sites on the Olcott sites, they're around 7,000 to 8,000 year old projector points. And they also, this is the creation story, is they were all the creation came from this sacred site that was revealed once they drew down the dams. But they've surveyed all, and now you can see the ground, so they found sites everywhere. And I'm not going to give it away, except these are some of the points that they'll talk about. And Francis Charles, the Lower Outlaw been here for 3 other PNWAS, mostly on Zuitzen. So she's going to talk about the status of that and the artifacts at the Burg and their new Heritage Center. So that's a Saturday. So that's set now. She has it on her calendar for the 28th of March. And this late spring talk is May 8th. Put that on your calendar too. And that's Ruth Kirch's new UW Press book on Ozette, which is dynamite. I've had a chance to read through all the chapters, and so some of the other graduate students have read Ozette. And it's some of her best work. And if you've read much of Ruth Kirch's work, you know she's an excellent writer. This is really, I think, some of her best work. And this is here because May 7th is her 90th birthday. So this is a birthday party too for Ruth. And she does have Parkinson's and doing okay, but she can't talk for 50 minutes, so there'll be a number of macaws that work out there in the lab and helped us with excavation, and some of us researchers talking about our experience as well as Big Cake. And this is actually from Dick's 90th birthday party. We had a huge party for Dick Doherty, and we'll do the same for Ruth come May 8th. So put that on your calendar. Well, let's get into the talk. I just wanted to point out that Bill has actually done some amazing oil paintings of some of these ships. It's the Discovery. He said he hasn't done the Chatham, but this is the ship coming in at Restoration Point coming into Seattle in 1792. And I think Scott wanted to see this. And you were talking about houses up on a big cliff, but I don't think this is exactly what you're talking about. And in the first sails, as they first started to see these sailing ships, one thing we tend to forget, and we just put up a historic monument down in Olympia at the end of Eld Inlet, because Peter Puget and Menzies came in two rowing crafts and went all through South Sound. So we don't think of our history as 225 years old, but it is. You know, we have these this history in South Sound. It's not just 1850s. And so anyway, the journal that Peter Puget put together, they visited an Indian community, which happens to be PNWAS, the very site we excavated for 11 years. They came there 225 years ago and described the community, their baskets, their housing, their appearance, and they were so friendly they called Eldon was called Friendly Inlet until Wilkes came down and changed everything to American. Okay, so with that, I'd like to get the program going, the talk, and I think we'll find it all very interesting. I know, for one, talking to Bill Holmes and Scott talking to me, he's quite into this discovery, and from all the way it sounds, you know, we really have. There's a lot of debate, but I think we really have this anchor from the Chatham. I'm going to have Scott introduce him, Scott Williams, the archaeologist, who's our board member, because he's the one that worked with Scott Grimes directly, as well as Doug Monks. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Dale. So I'm going to just do really quick because really we want to hear Scott Grimm talk. I'm Scott Williams. I'm an archaeologist with WSDOT, the Washington State Department of Transportation. I just want to assure you no state funds were used on this project. I did this on my own, on my weekends. And one of the reasons I did it, I got contacted by Scott and Doug Monk, the diver who found the anchor. And they had found this anchor, they thought it was the Chatham's anchor, they think it's the Chatham's anchor, and they needed some archaeological help. And I was really interested because they were so enthusiastic about it. They had done a lot of historical research, which Scott will talk about, really kind of challenging, you know, could this be the anchor or not? And so when I started with them, you know, I had lots of other archaeologists telling me, oh no, they're absolutely wrong, it cannot be the anchor, it wouldn't be there, you know, this kind of thing. And to me, it's kind of an interesting challenge. So I hope you enjoy Scott's talk. I certainly enjoyed working with him. I think he'll go over the fact that we're still trying to, or I shouldn't say he is still trying to pull together a lot of the pieces about how this anchor could be the Chathams and addressing some of those historical questions. So without further ado, Scott, you're on.
Thanks.
I'll let him give you this back.
I don't know about that WSDOT money, but I sure could use a little bit of it right now. All the stuff doing. Okay, so I got to figure out how do I get this knowledge in. Bring it. I'm gonna have the experts on everything.